Three incidents in the last few days prompt me to do this video. In quick succession, young couples rounded up and beaten up by people claiming to be from one political party in Kerala. All along, the police officer of jurisdiction standing and watching. Number two, a young doctor in Dhule in Maharashtra beaten up to pulp. That video shall scroll down now, making him lose vision in one of his eyes. And number three, yesterday, a member of parliament from a very reputed party, or at least well-known party, beating up a 60-year-old airline manager all over Times of India today. No provocation at all. In all the three instances, no provocation, people being beaten up black and blue. In one case, somebody losing his vision in one eye. That prompts me to do today's video. I'll keep it crisp. This video will enable you to understand what are your rights, what are your powers when faced with such a situation, or when a near or dear, a family member or a friend is faced with such a situation. Right to private defense, I have done a video on this before. I will do so again today, but I will deal with specific provisions. Specific provisions that will enable you to understand how to use this. Right to citizen's arrest, I have done this before. I will quickly touch base on this as well. Watch the next 3 minutes carefully. I am referring to a book authored by Ratan Lal Dheeraj Lal, The Indian Penal Code, very, very popular with lawyers and hopefully law students as well. I am going to quote two cases. One is Munne Khan versus State, decided by Supreme Court, and I will come straight to the crux. Supreme Court said, by enacting the sections, the authors of the code wanted to accept from the operation of its penal clauses acts done in good faith for the purpose of repelling unlawful aggression. In simple layman's terms, the authors of Indian Constitution, authors of Indian Penal Code rather, wanted to allow you use of force to stop unlawful aggression. I will quickly refer to one more case, simply known as Jaydev case, in which Justice Gajendra Gadkar, it will scroll down now, he said something very interesting. In India, there is no rule which expects a man first to run away or at least try to do so before he can exercise the right of private defense. Rather, he has every right to stand his own ground and defend himself if there is no time to have recourse to official help. Law, and this is very important, law does not expect a citizen to be a rank coward or leave his own house at the mercy of the burglar. Two cases, Munne Khan versus State and in Jaydev, both the cases tried by Supreme Court, outstanding judgments wherein power has been placed in your hands to use from sections 96 to sections 106. Just this much will scroll down now, section 96 to 106 of the Indian Penal Code, clearly dealing with what is called the right of private defense. I will not bore you with legalese because that's not what the show is all about. I will take you straight to two sections. Section 100. Please understand that you can defend your property, you can defend your body. You can defend the body of your relative and friend. You can also defend the property of your body and friend if you're there. So right to defense extends to all these. Section 100. The entire section 100 will scroll down now. Lays down 6 threats that, if you're faced with, allows you the right even to kill the assailant. So let me not mix words here. 6 areas of threat. If these are the areas of threat that confront you, you have the right to go all hog, all the way, and even protect yourself at the cost of taking the life of the assailant. These 6 shall scroll down now. As you can understand, if somebody is trying to rape you, you can kill that person in the right to private defense. If somebody is trying to rape your daughter, you can do the same. If somebody is trying to kidnap or abduct, you can do the same. If somebody is trying to kill you, you can do the same. So read these 6 carefully. I will take you straight to section 106. Section 106 also states that in the right of your private defense, when you're exercising that right, if somebody innocent gets injured, that is also okay. A fine example in this book, somebody called A is attacked by a mob that are trying to murder him. He cannot effectually exercise his right of private defense without firing at the mob. But he cannot fire without the risk of harming young children. A commits no offense if by so firing he harms the children. The reason I'm doing this video is because as normal common citizens, you do not know the extent to which you can go to protect yourself. These are the extents to which you can go to protect yourself. Remember, there is a common sense to be applied here. If you can have recourse to public authorities, in other words, if police is within reach, then you cannot exercise the right to private defense. Remember, if you can reach the police officers before this man or this mob can harm you, then you must do that first. Now, these are things that will always be viewed in retrospect. You are not allowed to take forever and ever and get into an analysis of this. When you are confronted with a threat, your right to private defense immediately kicks in. So in this case, you have somebody on the airline who drags an airline manager, and he himself says that I beat him up not once but 25 times with my slipper. So this guy proudly says, I took out my chappal and I beat him up 25 times and I'm not sorry about it. Now what if he decided to do this to the pilot? What if he decided mid-air to force his way into the cockpit, or if the pilot comes out to, for whatever reason, he catches the pilot and starts beating him up, then what happens? So you have to understand that the right of private defense, which occupies such a vast portion of our Indian Penal Code from 96 to 106, is there for a reason. Quickly, right to citizen's arrest, will scroll down now. This guy who was beating up an airline manager could have been arrested then and there using the right to citizen's arrest, which is section 43 of the Criminal Procedure Code. I am surprised why nobody exercises right. We are talking about Air India. Air India is the national carrier. Somebody on that plane should have arrested this man then and there under section 43 of the Criminal Procedure Code. Last but not the least, it is now a given that doctors are under threat almost all over the country. They run the risk of being beaten up, and as you see, one of them has lost his vision as well. I think all hospitals need to apply for a gun license. I think it is necessary for places like hospitals or schools to have at least one gun on premise with a proper gun license to be able to be deployed if a mob shows up and threatens to take the life of somebody there. Thank you for watching me. All the relevant sections will scroll down. Please, if you're a citizen of this country, you watch so many movies, you watch so many dramas and serials and whatnot, please read section 96 to section 106 of the Indian Penal Code. Teach this to your children, teach this to the ladies in your house, educate them. These are golden sections that can protect your life. Thank you.